Hurry up. Hello everyone. We are live. Welcome to Charming Man 93's Women of Anti-feminism slash anti-SJW bullshit. I am your host, Charming Man 93, and with me is an assortment of wonderful ladies who are all weird and beautiful and smart in their own ways. And going from left to right,
Oh, don't call us ladies, okay?
Okay,
I find
with
it very offensive.
Gendering me. Please use my proper pronouns.
It's
Hey,
okay.
manners.
And from left to right, we have the wonderful blonde in the belly of the beast. How are you, Blondie?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How's Seattle?
So liberal. I went to Pride last week, and then it just like drained me of the ability to do anything liberal or be in any of those crowds like all week.
Are you sure it's not the booze?
Yeah, really. I don't know. It's wild here. I'm getting pretty fed up, but what can you do?
Yeah,
All things are a mixed bag.
And to the right of Blondie, we have my fellow Mancunian who thinks she has a heavier accent than me, but we'll soon see. And that is Fern. How are you?
I do have a heavier accent from you
She
because I'm
does.
from real parts of Manchester.
Yeah, but you're from
heavier.
like you're from the scummy part, so
Go back to Salford, you fucking posh twat.
I'm not from Salford. And that's not even Manchester. That's a whole different city technically. But how are you? How are you?
I'm not terrible, so that's good.
That's good. How's your channel going then?
I'm about to get beheaded in the streets because I'm about to do a 5-part series called Islam versus the West. So
Excellent.
Nice.
So prepare to see my head flaunted on national news.
But please, rustle some jimmies while you're on your way out. Should that be rustle some Jamals? I don't know, but oh well. And to the right of Fern, we have the wonderful, sexy Skepo. How are you?
I'm good. Not bad.
Excellent. How's the kids?
They're still sleeping. It's summertime.
Oh yeah, are you in California now?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So how's the channel going as well?
Oh my gosh, I wish it was doing better.
Yeah,
It's
don't
okay.
we all? Yeah, and to the right, it's someone I've not really streamed with before, if I can recall. She's new. Stacy King, how are you?
Hi. Well, I'm fine. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm okay, Stacy. How's your sex life?
It's confidential now. Let's move on.
Yes, mine is also confidential. And finally, the powerhouse, the powerhouse, the bear with the sexy voice. We didn't know what would arrive, but she has arrived.
Powerhouse.
Sugartits.
Hello everyone.
How are you, Sugartits?
I'm awake, barely.
Barely awake, but you know
Barely.
what? You've made
Sorry.
it, and you've had a lovely birthday, and this is my birthday present to you, if it counts as a birthday present. Bit
That's
late,
nice.
but it's still your birthday over here, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's freaky, isn't it?
It's very freaky, super freak. So I've now got to think of a question. So I'm going to ask each one of you individually. Oh, we lost someone. Stacy King's dropped, but she'll be back. Don't worry. Well, I'm going to ask some of you individually, like, how did you? Oh, bless you. How did you become anti-feminist or as social justice, and also like your experiences? So I think I'll start again left to right. Blondie, how did you become a anti-feminist or social?
Oh, wow. Well, I always thought it was kind of insane, but wasn't really. I was a totally fully indoctrinated feminist and didn't really realize it. So when I started my career on Wall Street when I was like 22, I was like super unhappy, super miserable. And I'm looking around at all the women that are in careers around me. They like don't know what grade their kids are in and shit. Like I'm seeing women in New York that their kids are just being raised by nannies. Like they call their nannies mom. And so I did this for a few years and I was like, wow, this is just not going to make me happy. I do not think that this is what women should be doing. And like all the women around me are incompetent and stuff in the workplace. I'm like, I just want to have kids. But I didn't talk to anybody about it because I thought that it would be like this big anti-feminist bomb. So I kind of started advocating a traditional lifestyle while still working in my career, and then this week abandoned my career. Totally spectacularly quit my job. It was wild.
Was that for real? I saw it on Twitter and I thought, oh, she must be joking.
No, I'm serious. And I actually got a call from my former boss like 2 days ago, and he's like, we did a security audit on you and found your channel, and you have to take down the video about you quitting your job because you egregiously violated your non-disclosure.
Oh, wow.
He made it sound like I was going to get a subpoena or something. I freaked out, and I took the video down. But everybody at my old job watched all of my videos, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Did you get along with your boss, though?
Yeah, I mean, he was a dude, so it was easier. He was, like, a cool bloke. But, you know, if you, like, don't give your employees cost of living raises for, like, several years, they're going to leave and be disgruntled.
Yeah. So, like, stockbroker on Wall Street then, or something else?
I was doing like stock analysis, bank reconciliations, and things like that. And then I worked in real estate and economics after that.
So
but I just like had these series of unfulfilling jobs where it's just like menial money just to get by. I don't think that every job is really like that. So
did you go to university?
I did. I actually went to Mizzou.
Really? Wow.
That's another thing. I went to Mizzou and I was like, this is insane. These people are totally crazy. So that's probably where it all started.
Was it that batshit insane when you were there? Was it like...
It wasn't as bad.
Throwing themselves in front of slow-moving cars?
I mean, I never saw anything racist happen, and I lived in Columbia for almost 5 years. And so when I saw this stuff happen with, like, the poop swastika, I immediately was like, bullshit. That never happened. This is all a lie. Like, I knew right away. But it was not like that when I went there. Like, I never saw any kind of, like, I don't know, student upheaval or really, like, super liberal uprising there. Like, there wasn't a lot of censorship. I don't remember having a lot of that in any of my classes. Although they did really advocate for globalism in economics, which I always thought that was a pretty bad bias to have in a school.
I never really noticed any of that either when I went to uni, and that was very recently.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the subject I was in or the teachers or just the type of university it is, because over there you have Ivy League and you've got, I don't know, things below that. We've got something similar. So we've got Oxford and Cambridge at the top. You've got the Red Bricks, which is Manchester Uni, Birmingham, Liverpool, Sheffield, all these different prestigious universities, but they're not quite at the very top. And then you've got, I don't know if polytechnics come there or at the bottom, but I went to a former polytechnic called Manchester Metropolitan, which is the rival of Manchester University, and is the better university, obviously. And I didn't notice much social justice on my course. In fact, well, it's history. You can't really social justice it. So, and I can't recall any of my lecturers ever espousing it. I mean, hell, one of them used to swear all the time in our like classes. So he was cool. But yeah,
it's gotten much
I
I
saw it individually in people, but never like, I don't know.
I don't know. The last few years, it seems like things have like just gotten really bad, really fast at most universities. I was only in school like 5 years ago, and it was not like this.
Yeah. So what was the point where you realized that you were anti-feminist, and then you realized how bad it actually was, and you decided, I'm going to make a YouTube channel, or at least think that way?
I had always wanted to do the YouTube channel, but I was so worried about losing my job. And then just when I just stopped caring about my career completely, then I was like, I'm going to do this YouTube channel because I don't give a shit if it detonates my career. So this was like 5 months ago.
Have you lost any friends over it like I have?
Yeah, but I cleared them out. Like, I don't know. I got off Facebook a year or so ago because I was just like, I can't do this with you people anymore. Like, I can't.
Yeah. You always look like you're going mad.
Did you really lose friends over it, Charming Man?
Yeah, well, acquaintances, really, but, you know, yeah, one of them I'd known for a couple of years. Yeah, it was over Mattress Girl.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we're going to move on. Ferns, gonna grab something. Don't know if it's a dick or a drink, but never mind. No, I'm being sexist. Nah, I'm joking. But Skepo, when did you realise that you were like us? When you realised feminism was bad, when social justice was bad, and how did that make you end up going onto YouTube?
I don't even know that I even realized it. I went from being Mormon Muslim, leaving Islam, to back to the Mormon Church to atheism, and I never really. Actually, my son said I raised him believing that women were better than men, absolutely in every way, shape, and form. And I say differently now, and he said I confuse him.
Oh.
So I'm like, but honey, no, we're equal, but there's differences in the sexes. Like, I don't get it, Mom. So, but the moment that I became an atheist was the moment I think that I became an anti-feminist. I saw how it wasn't fair to men, and raising a boy actually changed the way I looked at men, and I started to see women in a different light. I never really got along with them because I was raised with 10 boys and some stepsisters for a couple years, but I didn't even have a mom. Like it was just my dad and the boys. So I didn't really have a female influence. But so I always got along with boys more. And then when I had a son, I started paying attention to the way women treat men and how custody battles are so unfair. Even with my children, my ex doesn't pay child support. Well, it's different. He's a Muslim and he's crazy. But I took the kids and he had no say in it. Like they're my kids. I'm glad because I saved them from Islam, but it's not fair. And you know, with my friends, their husbands, some losing their jobs for not paying child support because they lost their license, because here if you don't pay child support they can put you in jail. But initially it was because they lost their job, so it's not fair. Like, so and I started on YouTube with the atheists, and then I got to know some of the anti-SJW people, and it really just resonated with me. It rang true, and it just kind of happened. I guess. And I started making videos because I'm crazy.
Yeah. So like what was it like being a Mormon and a Muslim? Like, is there any similarities, or are they completely utterly different?
They're completely both the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Abrahamic.
They're so similar. Like if you think, okay, as a Mormon, you're born into a church that dictates every moment of your life, and as a girl, you are told all the time that you are lower and lesser. Oh no, you're exalted because you're special and all these other things, and you get to go to heaven and make babies for eternity. But your husband and your son has more rights in the priesthood than you do. And
wow.
So you're a second-class citizen. And so in Islam, it's the same thing. And it's for the same reasons. You're exalted because you're so soft and feminine and wonderful, and you make babies and should be revered, but don't misbehave.
Yeah.
Because if you misbehave...
So is there similarities between Mormonism and feminism? Because we've seen the Islam ones. I mean, Sight an Atheist did that song, and we've seen articles in loads of different places. Would you say there's a similarity between them as well? Because there is a little bit of a religious aspect to it. In like in the Mormon churches, in the way it's kind of geared against. Kind of like how it's run, how they operate, kind of how they think as well.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same. The only difference is Mormon women don't cover their face or their head. That's the only difference, really.
Is there a similarity to feminism in like a cult way, you know?
Yeah, I mean the Mormon church is a cult. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't get away. It's the same thing. You can't leave peacefully. Even like the cult of feminism or the cult of any cult, you can't get away. It's just not easy to leave. The only difference is, like, in the Mormon church, you will and can lose your life. It's not like a joke. It's not saying, oh yeah, they don't believe in blood atonement. I mean, some do and some carry it all the way. It's rare, but it happens. It's not like Islam. But to me, that's the cult mentality. But anyone that you can't argue with, that you can't bring facts to the table and say, well, what about these? And they're gonna put their fingers in their ears and go, la 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 la, I can't hear you. You know, that's to me, that's the identity of a cult. Any cult.
Yeah, and I just like wonder, how did you go from that to that to that? That's quite a journey, isn't it? That's quite, and also I've noticed a lot of feminists tend to be people who Not always, because there are a lot of religious ones, like Bell Hooks is religious, but they started off as a Christian, or doesn't matter, does it? And then they became an atheist, yet they still needed that one thing to believe in, and it just so happens that they've replaced it with an ideology that is feminism or social justice, which is, they go in hand, really.
Yeah.
And they call what me and Gleb's Litvax, I think he coined it, or maybe he found it. It's called faitheists. They basically replace the religious aspect with feminism. And I'm surprised that didn't happen to you, considering the amount of religions you've been in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I never really had critical thinking skills. I, up until 5 years ago, believed the Earth was 10,000 years old. Absolutely. You couldn't have convinced me otherwise. I believed in the evil eye and witchcraft and magic and the divinity of Muhammad and Jesus. You couldn't have convinced me otherwise. And I'm not sure. It was a 5-minute conversation that my man had with me, and he said, I can convince you there's no God. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. And he's like, do you believe in unicorns? I said, no, of course not. That's stupid. He's like, but I know there's a flying pink unicorn. I have seen it with my eyes, and I can bring out this book that says that they exist. So how do you argue against that? Tell me it's not real. Like, I can't. He's like, well, it's the same thing with God. And however he said it that particular way, I was like, oh my gosh. It's like around me immediately all the walls started falling, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And so the critical thinking skills that kind of just, it really was like getting shocked, or like a bolt of lightning, just like, holy shit. So it started me down that path of I devoured knowledge as much as I could. I had to learn science, and I had to learn history, things I'd never bothered learning because of religion. Like, I had no idea how the universe worked. God made it. Who cares?
That's kind of cool that you just flooded yourself with all of this shit that you learn, like, in school.
Right? My kids have benefited from it too, because they've learned as I've learned. So it's been really neat. We watch documentaries together. We're exploring the world together. I have a unique relationship with them that I don't think I would have had I stayed religious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I didn't choose feminism, because
it's a really nice way of looking at, like, the thirst for knowledge that I guess a lot of people take for granted. The fact that you can learn so much.
I love living. I used to hate life. You know, I was so depressed and miserable. But every day I wake up and I can learn anything I want. It's amazing.
That's kind of what. Go on.
That's why God of the Gaps is such a toxic concept, because it doesn't allow for growth of knowledge. You know, that's the most toxic aspect of religion. It doesn't allow for growth of knowledge for the common person, because the clergy still look for stuff, still try to understand stuff, but the common person doesn't. It's just not fair.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Introverted Smiles talked about. He used to be so depressed and so paranoid because he thought God was around looking at him all the time in case he's been a bad Muslim, and then he became an atheist, and suddenly he became very happy. It's kind of like
all the guilt's gone.
It's like the Dices Scum girl. She was, I don't know if she was a trender or not, but she got out of that, and next thing you know, she looks vaguely normal. She looks better. So Fern's back. Fern, are you still there?
She wants me to adopt her.
I am, yeah.
So you are one of the people that I know personally who used to be an actual social justice warrior.
Nah, that's more embarrassing than, like, being indoctrinated into, like, fucking Scientology, man. That never happened. Scrub the record.
Have you actually been to the Manchester Church of Scientology place? It's only a little like shop corner thing.
I went to the fucking the museum up near fucking
Deansgate, is it?
Yes, Deansgate, Castlefield and Deansgate.
For those of you who don't know what that is, Deansgate is an area in the centre of Manchester, and Castlefield is called Castlefield because it's named after the Roman fort that used to be there 2,000 years ago. That's why Manchester is called Manchester. Here's some history lessons for you people. They're all going to turn off now, but If there's a
I've only
place
seen
name,
the fucking. I've only seen the airport, and it's a nightmare.
yeah,
We
is,
tried to
yeah.
get
I've
out
been
of
there.
the airport area, and then we ended up like doing a turn somehow, and then we came right back to the fucking airport. Didn't even know how we.
Yeah.
All we wanted to do was get out of Manchester. It was a fucking nightmare.
The roads in Manchester are some of the worst I've ever
They
been.
are. But like, yeah, if there's a place name in England and at the end of it is Chester or Cester, that's a Roman place. Anywhere else it isn't. But
What about Chester? What about
Chester
just
is Roman. Yeah, Chester. That was the main area up north for them. That was the main city or town. So, what was your turning point when you used to be the thing that we cannot discuss? It never happened. To this state of affairs. God, that went a bit baldric then, didn't it?
I guess like I think it like I was doing like graphic design and like photography, freelance photography, and like I was in that art student mindset, I guess. And once
Oop, you still there? Uh-oh, they've got a bot.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh no, so, unless you clicked a button.
nah, sorry,
He's muted.
You alright? What happened? Did you click a
I
button?
dropped my fucking like the cherry fell off my cigarette onto my leg. So
Ouch.
I didn't want to set shit on fire. So yeah, I was doing the whole art student thing, fluttering about, finding myself. But like I've discussed this like story at length in a video on my channel. But basically, when I was like 15, something really shitty happened. I got raped, and I went to go find like a support group because I didn't really know how to go about reporting it and everything. And it turned out the people I turned to were crazy rad feminists. So like, it's really easy to plant the seed of doubt in someone's mind when they're like vulnerable. And that's why I'm so against feminism, because it does target young idealistic girls.
Yeah.
And
what you?
I was more pragmatic than most feminists. I actually did a lot of charity work and stuff just to while I was preaching at people about misogyny and patriarchy, I at least did a little bit of charity.
Yeah.
And then I went into STEM. When I started into STEM, I met like most of the like professors and the people in this field I want to go in are all women. And feminism have taught me that there's no women in STEM. There's not a single one of us.
Just like politics, right? Just like politics.
Yeah, like I've never seen a female politician. They're like pregnant Asian ladies. They don't exist.
Yeah. And like, yeah, one of my MPs was a woman back in the day before I moved. Yeah, I even voted for her. she was alright. She didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, what you described when they preyed on vulnerable people or idealistic people, it's kind of like what psychics do. They'll get you when you're grieving, when you're at a moment of depression. Like, you obviously must have been traumatized, and they recognized that and thought, this is a person we can get into our ranks. So they, fed you all this.
You connect to them emotionally, and then
Cold
that
reading.
overrides logic.
Yeah,
Well, that was basically like I did that whole message to feminist video, and it was basically like I'm probably like way too hardcore against feminists now. Like, so it's got unhealthy because I'm like, so most feminists I don't mind like the younger ones because they're just idealistic young girls that have been fed a crock of bullshit and they believed it.
They'll probably come around too.
Oh yeah, I'm
but
sure.
aren't they just the most annoying? Don't
I
you find them
know.
just the most annoying because they're so young and they talk down to you with this judgmental,
patronizing.
greater than thou, patronizing, thank you, tone. and
Especially
just-
when they're richer than you. Especially when they're middle class or higher. You're just like, oh god, I feel like I'm being given
Guys,
orders.
I've read 5 books on gender theory, and I think you'll find that I know more than you about the patriarchy.
Yeah. And my favorite is when, before they start, they acknowledge that they are a privileged white female, so that they don't really feel they have the authority to speak on this. But I'm going to fucking do it anyway.
I've
Yeah.
noticed
Oh god, that trending hashtag of heterosexual pride day, and this kid was like, I'm a white male, but even I think this is fucking gay. Like, oh,
that was the
man.
point.
Like,
One more like 18-year-old feminist tells me that I need to get educated. My head's gonna.
What was
Need
that
to
speech
go-
recently where the girl came up and she said, I was a little nervous to come up and speak because there are so many white people in the crowd?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was at the memorial for the people that died in Orlando.
Orlando,
that
that's
fucking
right.
bitch that was like,
Grieving, there were people that were there grieving ones, and
Mhm.
That
people
made me so mad.
and these people just walked on stage. A gay friend of mine was furious. They said, like, how dare they? How dare they bring up their stupid Black Lives Matter shit when these people are actually grieving for friends and loved ones? It's disgusting.
well, it's not even that. I feel like they fail to acknowledge the fact that all of those, like most of those gay people, were, as they like to call it, people of color.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I saw that phrase in writing 100 years ago. Person of color. I swear, I was reading something once recently, and I saw a person of color. They weren't even calling him colored.
You look a lot younger than, like, if you've read something 100 years ago. You're looking good.
No, thank you. It's the Asian and black genes in me. but I meant it was written at that time, and
No, I know. I'm fucking with you. It's fine.
yeah, I know. But they mentioned that phrase. I thought, why are they bringing back an ancient phrase that nobody was meant to
They want
use?
segregation back. Have you not seen it? There was that fucking
seen
Australian
it,
guy
yeah.
that's getting sued for racism because it was like a fucking Abozoni computer lab, and then he tried to go in, and he was like, "Wow, segregation, way to fight racism."
That's crazy. Is that true, Sugartits?
Let me find the news story. It's fucking old. It's a really old story.
Because there's no segregation when I was at uni, thankfully, but they might end up putting that in there. It's weird. They had a safe space policy, but it seemed like they implemented it quite half-heartedly, as if they couldn't be asked.
They
left it to the
banned from
individuals.
speaking at like NUS events because I called their fucking hate speech policies a crock of shit.
It is. But to be fair, I've not met a single student who likes the NUS. It's only the
No one
NUS who likes the NUS.
Except the president's a Muslim girl now.
She's an anti-Semite. She's a
Well,
racist.
She's probably a Muslim feminist because
Yeah.
God tell me to wear a hijab except the one in the Quran and the Hadith and the Sirah and the Sunnah.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll look past that.
I'm going to do a video on her. I've been meaning to do so for ages. She's caused 3 universities to leave the NUS, and I think it's going to grow. But you know what?
I think everyone should leave it. I think they should fucking.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, right? Sorry, Bearing made me laugh. But the thing is, she's not even black yet. She was the leader of the Black Students' Union. She's like Arab or Indian. I don't know what she is.
Yeah, but
how? Why does that work?
Well, if a spray tanned white bitch can be the fucking chapter head of the whatever the fuck it is in America.
And National Advancement for Coloured People, NAACP.
Yeah, I'm gonna run for the head of the Black Student Union next year.
I could technically do it, but you know, they wouldn't want a mixed race guy doing it. But yeah,
Pure
like
enough.
So what was the turning point? What? Oh yeah, it was just into STEM, wasn't it? So was
Yeah.
this like engineering or just science, chemistry?
Um, I went into science. I'm like debating whether to go and do an apprenticeship in engineering just to have the qualification behind me.
Yeah. So
But
do you have any like brothers or like other male family members?
no, I'm an only child, but I was like raised by my dad. So like
Ah, yeah.
I don't know. I think it was just the idealistic, like,
Mm.
left-wing fucking socialist in me that was like, I wanna make the world beautiful and everyone should love each other.
Oh no, it's I was a bit more cynical than that, but I still had that kind of idealistic thing when I was 16. I was just kind of like, we can do it, we can renationalize everything, and it's just like never going to happen for like 100 years.
Get the railroads back.
Actually,
And
to be
it's
fair,
such,
the most
it's
profitable railway is nationalised. Oh, it was. I think they privatised it again.
Thanks,
And it's such a
Tories.
great pitch, isn't it? It's such a great pitch to young teenage girls. Like, you can do it. You can do anything that the boys do. Like, girl power, support women. Like, it sounds like really
mean,
nice.
It's weird because technically, yes, they can, but there's some things that they just can't do. Like, how you still do the windmill with your penis, but
It almost turns into like a sport between two
Yeah.
different teams. You know,
Do
like
you remember this show about boys versus girls, and they'd have two in Britain. You'd have these guys. I don't know if you remember it, Fern, but they'd get them to do challenges
It
and
was
shit. And
Survivor. I think they did a gender segregated Survivor, and within the first 24 hours, the men's camp were already building civilization. They made themselves a little hut, got their fire going, and cooked themselves a fish because they separated all like things they had to do.
into strengths and
And the women just sat there arguing over who gets to be asleep.
Yeah, you're gonna do this. You're going to do that. They got things going. While the girl camp, they couldn't decide who's going to do what. No one knew how to build a house, and three of the girls got lost with no water, no nothing, and they
wow.
off like 3 miles off of their camp because they were dying literally.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
It's weird because in that TV show I used to watch, the women always used to win. And I was kind of like, wait, that can't be true. How can they keep winning week in, week out? It should be at least 50-50. I don't know if they just got the most inept men, but I'm just kind of like, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't like, I don't know if they were it was. I don't know if it was physical challenges. It wasn't sexist. It was a fair and square thing, but there was something not right about it to me. But we must move on.
It was like the 90s though, wasn't it? And Spice Girls
2000s.
about like
Yeah.
girl power.
Girl power.
See, that was alright. I don't like the music, but they're trying to encourage young girls to do things, and it's like, yeah, why not?
Well, that's if feminism really was like women turning around to girls and being like, you can be whatever you want. Like, the world is fair and just as long as you try. You fucking
As soon as you give off the vibe, that creepy feminist vibe, is like, ooh, start looking at men like they're the problem, like patriarchy is the whole problem, they oppress you, like when it gets to that point, it's not like it's not the pitch changed, doesn't it? It's not girl power anymore. It's something else.
Girls in power.
Yeah.
It's kind of become like the nationalist movements. Like, usually they're like, oh, have pride in your country, want to slow down a little bit of immigration. And then it turns into, see that brown man over there? That brown man is going to rape your dog, steal your job, and fuck your wife.
I only rape Pomeranians.
They are a cute dog.
Have you seen Tibetan Mastiffs by any chance? Massive. They're like lions. They're like lions.
Yeah.
They're like bear lions. Like
bear
a bear
lion.
and a lion had a
Bear
baby.
lions.
They're beautiful dogs, though.
Yeah, I love the bigger dogs.
They're so
The better
cuddly.
ones.
They're
Like
they're
Newfoundlands, do you know those?
I want
I
one
think
so
so, yeah.
bad.
They
So,
literally are bears.
anyway, we're going to move on to Stacy. Then we'll get to
Obviously.
Sugartits, obviously. So, Stacey, same question as before. What was the moment when you realised you were anti-feminist / social justice, and just let's go on from there. So, over to you.
Yeah, I grew up in a post-communist world here in Bulgaria, so
You're Bulgarian.
I have always, yes, so I've always had this heightened sense of where freedom of expression and freedom of doing whatever you want is, because that's what I grew up with a fight for freedom of speech and freedom of expression and freedom of association. So I've always had a heightened sense for that. And very early on when I got onto YouTube and started looking at political and social things, even I don't know, it was probably 5 years ago or even 6 when the Yes Means Yes campaign started. It wasn't even, it didn't even got written into, and I was like, what are these people thinking, letting people get into their bedrooms and legislating what they can and can't do between each other behind closed doors. So I've never been in any way leaning towards feminism or social justice, because I can see them as inherently trying to take freedoms away from people because they want others to get along or, make things fair. And yeah, going to probably the other part of your question, how I got into anti-feminism and anti-SJWs. It started with probably when Feminism Plus came around, because I have been a very long time subscriber to Thunderfoot, and I noticed how his videos started moving from well, there's this stupid thing called religion that's, shit on that because it's funny, to there's this stupid thing called feminism and it's ruining everything. Then Gamergate happened and I found Sargon of Akkad. And it was just around the time when Thunderfoot wasn't making videos. So I said, oh my god, another popular YouTuber with a British accent. I love this. Discount Thunderfoot here, let's watch him. And I got more aware of the social justice aspect of it. And yeah, then I started radiation.
Oh, Stacey, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, how about now? Is it okay
Yeah, you're
now?
alright. Yeah, you're alright now. Yeah.
Okay.
As Blonde says, I don't think you're plugged in all the way, so...
I am. It's probably
okay. Yeah.
It's my technical 2 cents.
So then I started looking up abbreviations that came up, like MRA and MGTOW, and just, fell down the rabbit hole from there.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, because it goes very, very deep. And the more you learn about the problems in the West when it comes to family courts and fathers' rights and children's rights, the more you want to say something and do something. So I did. Yeah.
Has this red pill knowledge made it hard to do daily activities for anybody else? I'm just thinking about the decline of it constantly. I can't do anything. I can't watch TV and not think about it. It's just going on all the time now. Fuck this red pill. Take me back.
Yeah.
I sometimes, but it's more with my friends than anything, because I notice a lot of them aren't quite SJWs, but almost. Some of them are full blown, obviously, and there's not much I can do about that. I don't want to change. I don't like changing how they think, because I don't know how they're going to react to it, and I'd rather just change the neutrals, because they're the ones who where it's more okay to do so. But
yeah, but you're really young, right? They'll probably come around.
Yeah, some of them are younger than me. Some, only by a little
It's just
bit.
an
But they're
age
also
where most people are stupid.
yeah, they're also some of them are also smarter than me. That's why I'm also kind of a little bit apprehensive to talk to them about it because they,
Just 'cause they're
if
better
I
at
fuck up,
academic stuff
if I
doesn't mean they're better at life.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, they're
Clearly
better
very
than life. They're better at
life.
life.
I know some smart
Seriously, you
people
just
that believe idiotic stuff. Just
Hmm.
really.
You just
don't.
need to strap them into a chair and like seriously like hold their eyes open and make them watch like wrecked feminist videos like
So
But
Stacey,
encourage
top
them.
10 feminist fails.
Anti-feminism.
the top 10 fails. So Stacey,
Oh,
do you
like
remember?
like the woman who thought the postman was stalking her.
Oh,
Oh
her,
my
yeah.
god, I love that woman.
Oh,
And
Oh, but
when
she's
they
legit
put
crazy
those
though.
orange sticks in the snow so you can see the edge, and she's
Oh
like,
yeah! Oh my God!
putting them here as a display of the patriarchy.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
To be fair, she's clearly got paranoid schizophrenia. Obviously, look at her. I can't help but feel sorry more I think about her. But hey, Stacey, do you remember communism, or are you too young to remember?
I'm too young. I'm too
Oh
young
yeah.
to remember. It fell when I was 2, 3. So no, I just remember changes and everything that.
Changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1989 then, the Velvet Revolution, as they call it.
No, no.
Oh, did Bulgaria not take the communists out until a little bit later? I thought it was all 89 they started to.
No, everything was liberated in like 99. The start of the 90s to 99 was when everything started to be liberated.
No,
Yeah.
it was very, very, I don't know, low key. They just one day they just arrested the president or whatever he was called, and that was basically it. People were parading in the streets, happy that it's over. We had elections, and that's it.
So you're kind of like V, because he kind of remembers communism. He talks like he does remember it a little bit, communism, and he has a similar thing to you.
Yeah, we have the societal memory and everything we know from our parents and older friends, because I've had friends that, grew up their first 10, 15 years in communism, but I don't have personal memories of communism.
I was born after most of them had collapsed, 1993. The only communist country that remained, as far as I can read, well, apart from China and Vietnam and all that, but the only one in Europe that I can think of that remained was Yugoslavia. I don't know when Albania threw it off, but yeah, that was when I was born. That was the only country. Then I don't remember the war where they basically fought each other over who was going to take what land as Yugoslavia collapsed. But yeah, so I don't have any knowledge of nuclear wars on the horizon or anything like that. But it's interesting that Eastern Europeans are well aware of what these cultural Marxists are like, because that's what a lot of them are. And although every time I look at the feminists, I don't want to talk about me too much, but I'll get back to you. Every time I look at the feminists, I just think, well, you're kind of Marxist, but on the other hand, you're kind of capitalistic because they love to make money off of this. So I'm kind of like in two minds about how Marxist they actually are. I mean, the ideology is clearly from Marxist feminism. They've taken over from everyone else. But then again, they love making money. So I'm kind of like, But anyway, back to my original point. It seems like the Eastern Europeans have a lot more of a, this is liberty, this is what we think it should be, and these people can't take it away. And I see that in you and V. So I think, would you say that would you say that it's around in Bulgaria, or is it not as much, the influence? Is it not as strong as it is over here?
It is way less. You can see how Western educated women come and try to push things, yes, and men, try to push political correctness, and women are so oppressed down the normal Bulgarians' throat, but it's usually laughed off. It's usually like, fuck your political correctness. You can't tell me how to express myself. And, feminism was part of the social indoctrination during communism. So Bulgarians smell it from a mile away. It's like, yeah, sure, of course. Like, you have to work. You have to support the country into the great future of communism.
The greater good.
Yeah, the greater good, exactly. And
Hot Fuzz. Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
What?
Have you seen the film Hot Fuzz?
I'm not sure I have.
There's a running gag where the neighborhood watch goes for the greater good.
Uh-huh.
What, right over her
That's
head?
why I said it. Sorry, you need to watch it to get it. Sorry. Oh, fail.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Typical man.
No, I know. Carry
Can't
on.
get anything
Sorry,
right.
Stacey.
Men
I know.
suck.
Fucking British for like 5
Patriarchy.
seconds, Charmin. You're making us look bad.
I know. Sorry, Stacey. Continue.
There is just the social memory of what being told what to think and being told what to say looks like. So I think that is why Bulgarians and Romanians and any other place that has had communism in the past, 30 years, knows what it looks like and says, like, fuck you, not us, we're not doing this. And it trickles down even to the social services and family courts. Our system is very much different to yours, especially when it comes to separating families, extracting children from families, giving custody to parents, especially fathers. Here it's a lot more, normal and rational and healthy.
That's really fascinating. Yeah, it's really like the communist states are pushing feminism. I never knew that. I never read that. That's interesting. That. So
Oh yes,
I think
there weren't any female workers, and females weren't seen as someone that has to work until communism. It was then when they said, like, we should get the women out of the kitchen and into the workforce because communism needs workers to go and be great.
Now that's interesting. So we now go to Sugartit, who's probably halfway dead, but Sugartit, you're someone I've always wanted to ask this question. When did you...
Sorry. Did you get what Bering was saying in the chat just now?
I didn't laugh at Stacy King at one point. I wasn't laughing at you. What I laughed at was someone said to Bering, "Shit in a cunt."
No. When he asked you if you'd had Dixon cider before.
No, yeah, I saw that and I was like, no, I've never had it. What is that?
Dicks
Did
inside
you
her.
really know? No.
Oh, God.
Jeez, charming.
I was pissing myself laughing. Not literally. Sorry about
That's
that.
hilarious.
I'm too tired. I'm too tired to look at all this.
Sorry.
You didn't get it. That is the cutest, most adorable thing ever.
Oh, because I'm tired. I've only had a couple hours sleep.
You are lovely.
Thank you.
No, sorry, continue.
I didn't think so, lol. Bering, I'm gonna get you for this. Poisoning the well are there too. Oh no. So what? This is gonna be a meme now, isn't it?
Charming.
So when did your journey start, Sugartits? So like, you and Bering are interesting because I want to know, when did you become anti-feminists? Because your life story is interesting as it is anyway. Because you're like half Filipino, half Scottish, right?
Oh yeah, we're mutts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's three of us. There's three mutts here. Fern's one of us.
Actually, half English, quarter Filipino, quarter Spanish.
Ah, nice.
So it is like multi-mutt.
So there's that, and then when did you and Bear? Well, you really? When did you start noticing it was bullshit?
When did I start noticing? Well,
Yeah.
Baring got me onto it pretty much for the most of it. Like, he started showing me all these videos, and then you just like you see one thing and then it's another thing and it's another thing and you just can't believe it. Like that there are people out there that take. I never really got into feminism personally. Like like most of these other ladies, I hung out with guys a lot more than girls, and my idolized my dad. Like I didn't get to see him very much, and I was always like, in personality wise, I gelled more with my dad, so he was like my hero to me, and yeah, and then there's this part of me that finds things that are, traditionally seen as boy activities, like more fun. I don't know if that's growing up with my cousins who are all guys as well, like things like building forts and like being towed behind a BMX on rollerblades and breaking your wrist. That I did do that. Pretty stupid.
Yeah.
and yeah, just I don't know. I always enjoyed the company of guys a little bit more than girls. They're a lot less complicated than girls are. You never quite. You have to watch your back with girls. One day I remember in school. One day you'd come to school and you wouldn't know why, but you'd be the target for some reason, and all your friends weren't talking to you.
Because someone had gone around talking to your friends about you, and they're not talking to you. See, I've heard a lot of girls talk about how there's a lot of groupthink in girl gangs, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
It's and sneaky, yeah.
Sneaky.
Oh, they're horrible. I mean, lovely. I love women. Yeah.
But it's like, Baring has a great story about when he had to go to boarding school because he was a naughty little cunt.
Not posh.
And there was a group of guys who were bullies in the school, and they were bullying one of his mates. So he decided to stand up for his mate and went over to the main bully and just punched him right in the face.
Nice.
And there were these guys were like a year above him, I think, and there were 4 of them. And the main guy just sort of was like shocked, like what? And then of course they beat the shit out of him, all 4 of them. But then after that, they were so impressed that he had the balls to go up and punch him that he became really good friends with them. I think he.
Did he leave his mate alone as well?
What's that?
Did he leave his mate alone after that?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Wow, Baring. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Superhero Baring, who I will get my revenge on soon.
Yeah, and it's just this positive association that I've had growing up with males, like admiring like Pat's pop. He built his own house with his bare hands. My pop, like he fought as a pilot in World War II.
Your dad?
No, my pop.
Oh, your granddad. Sorry, I thought.
Yeah,
pop,
my granddad.
yeah.
Yeah, we say pop here, and then my dad, like I never got to see him because and the reason I didn't get to see him is because he worked his ass off so that we could stay here in Australia as kids where we wanted to stay because we were settled. And so many positive male role models in my life that when you start to hear things coming out of entitled, bitchy little mouths saying, it's okay to hate. I'm also a man hater. They're not the same thing, but I'm both of those things. And when they say things like it's okay to hurt men because it doesn't hurt them, but if you hate women, it hurts women to hate men.
I know.
That's a fucking pop star, okay? By the way, a pop star at the moment.
The Swedish one.
The Swedish one.
Zara
Larsson.
Zara Larsson, yeah.
Yeah, and then other things you start to like. It's like the rabbit hole Stacey was talking about. You just go further into this because you're, as you know, people who do the kind of same things that we do. You're constantly looking and researching material, so you dig deep, like into things that people wouldn't even look at, and then you start to see things like articles saying universities won't hire men to in order to promote a better gender equality by getting more women, but they're purposely writing on their job advertisements, men not need apply. And then the companies in UK who are paying all female employees more regardless of experience or position held, they're just paying them more because of this so-called gender wage gap. And they refuse to acknowledge that it's an earnings gap. It's
by the way,
it's not an earnings. You know what I mean? It's just
off
ridiculous.
topic. Check the link, and you're gonna laugh your ass off.
There's a link.
Your favorite
There's
side.
a Twitter link there. My worst fears have happened. I'll just
See,
post
that's what I
what is
used to
this?
find really hard about feminism. Is like, because my dad raised me, I'd be comparing my dad to like what these women was telling me how men are how men are, and I'm like, but my dad raised me, and he's not a bad man.
Yeah, a lot of my male family members seem to be tragic figures. That's the only way I can describe them. They're not the most perfect people. They don't tend to be. Well, yeah, they don't tend to be the nicest of people on occasions, but they're not evil. Doesn't make them bad people. It just means occasionally they may have done something stupid, and I'm no different. I've done stupid things, but they're not nasty people. They work the socks off. I mean, I could go into detail if I wanted to, but it's not about me. So yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing at the thing you sent.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I ever had dicks inside it.
So I'm going to leave this question more open to all of you. So I want to know is what's your experiences in this sort of community that's developed on YouTube over the past, say 5 years since Atheism Plus? So, like, have you experienced what the feminists always like to tell people that people like me are like? And would you say some of it's true, some of it's not true, and have you been treated, etc., etc.? Just your experiences. What would you all say about that?
Honestly,
Feminists are fucking crazy.
More experiences within the community with the guys and other women, stuff like that.
Feminists are easy to break down. They're like they have really fragile egos, and so it's really easy to get them. And they're basically all the same person, so you can hit the same points, and they just go home and cry.
Emotionally charged.
Yeah, definitely emotionally charged. Yeah.
But I think, like, as far as the community goes, as far as this community goes, really nice people. Everyone seems to be even like the ones, like, you watch their YouTube videos and you're like, Jesus Christ, you're a twat. And then you talk to them in private and they're the nicest person.
Yeah.
Yeah, my experience is a little bit different because the first people I actually engaged were the MGTOWs. So they're a different kind of community of their own. But
is that everyone's story? I hear this all the time. That's what I did too.
Yeah, it's cool though because you get to earn a place there, like because the larger community is very accepting and they cheer on women, and there it's like, yeah, you are an infiltrator, you're bad, and you get to
That's
like
the extremes. Yeah. The extremos.
There are some fucking batshit insane MGTOWs.
I know.
As there are feminists as well.
The perpetually offended.
And it comes from emotion. It's like an emotionally charged thing. Like, you get the feeling that these guys have been absolutely screwed by a woman. Like, maybe they've lost their kids, maybe they lost their houses and their incomes, and maybe they got so depressed because they couldn't get to their kids that they lost their jobs, and they've just cracked. And then it's like the association, like you said before, the association of all women representing what this one has done to you and has fucked up your life.
I think that moment when I was watching that fucking video by Steve Shives where it was like, oh, what does it matter? Oh, you can't see your kids, boo hoo. And I just like my brain just went, fuck. That's how they all are. That's how every single feminist I've ever been around was. They had no concern about anyone else's feelings but their own. They're such self-entitled, fucking selfish pieces of shit who no one told them no when they were growing up.
And that moment convinced me that Steve Shives, one, he couldn't be saved. Two, his wife had very little to do with his ideology, and that he's just a cunt, and that's what he thinks. And I agree with you. They all think about themselves. It's always me, 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 or us, 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 as in women or just a group. It's feminism, not women. It's just feminism, because if you're not a feminist, they're like, what? You're a woman. You should be a feminist. It's kind of like, what? You're moral. You should be religious or something. You know.
Did you read about that Muslim woman? She lost like £6 million in funding. How the fuck anyone would give her £6 million in funding? But she was this Muslim feminist, and she lost £6 million in funding because she wished all. I think it was either non-feminist or Trump-supporting women should be raped.
Oh my god.
It's okay when they do it.
Yeah.
Really.
Just like I mentioned I mentioned on a stream a couple of days ago about the new Lauren Southern video in England, and how her crew's being beaten up on and stolen hat and all of that stuff, and then the cops trying to explain to her what she's doing wrong, you know, by being there and antagonizing them, because it's a highly emotional charged day, and your presence here is antagonizing them. So maybe you should just do this, you know, maybe you should stay here, and maybe you should be quiet.
And it was like a fat female cop.
Fucking face. Oh man, she's making me dead angry.
Yeah, that was insane.
I'd have gone down for assault of an officer if I was Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
balls, Lauren.
So it's an entire mindset of, when someone is acting out on emotion and is the vulnerable group, either if it's a religious group or a woman, the opposing person, the person that gets the brunt of it, should just go for a walk, you know, calm down. You won't believe how many times I've heard that during making my video series telling men's stories where he called the police because she's beating him up, and they realize what the situation is, and they tell him, okay, you go for a walk out of your own house and let her cool down. You know, it's going to be okay. You're not a battered husband. There's no such thing. Just go for a walk. She'll be fine.
See, that's what really fucked me up with feminism, because like I feel like I wasn't a very good feminist. Like when I was a feminist, because I'd bite back on everything, and I'd be like, but that's not, and they'd be like, shut up, this is how it is. Quiet young Padawan, do you want to be a feminist Jedi one day? And they'd be like, oh, men, all domestic abuse is man on woman. And I grew up my entire life watching my mum emotionally, verbally, and sometimes physically abuse my dad. And like the women in my life were the abusive ones. And I could never wrap my head around the idea of men are inherently abusive. Like I never got that when I was a feminist. It never made sense to me.
And haven't men for so long, since a young age, that's the thing you drill into their heads as young boys. You can never ever hit a girl.
Well, yeah, but even instinctively, like you watch, you know, the fact that they're letting women serve on the front line in the US now, when they're doing training exercises, men put themselves at extra risk when there's a woman in the squad, because it's an inherent fucking thing within a man's brain to protect the woman.
Yes, that's true.
That's true, yeah.
Like it would make no sense if you didn't protect the thing that could carry your genetic fucking offspring.
Yeah, it's really weird how feminists try to say, like, men don't feel, men don't empathize, men don't do this, don't do that. No, the truth of the matter is that because of their hard wiring, men are way more inclined to empathize with a woman, even when they don't want to. It's just because at one point of our evolution, the procreation and survival depended on that, depended on the biological need of the male to protect the female.
Yeah.
I find it hard.
And nowadays they call it toxic masculinity.
Right.
I just find it so hard that any man, there might be a few, I don't know, would ever think the way that this lot think we do. I don't think that way. My dad doesn't think that way. I've not met anyone like that. I've seen people on YouTube, but they're usually a bit insane. So, as Thunderfoot would call them, an evolutionary dead end. So,
it does tend to be more the mentally unstable men and women that tend to abuse, but it's the old pattern of if you're abused, you're either going to go on to seek abusive relationships or be an abuser. Like, it's not always that way, but not all people that are abused abuse, but all people that abuse have been abused is usually the rule.
Well, when it comes to child abuse, because I don't know much about statistics of other things, when it comes to child abuse, it's actually women that have been abused as children are way more likely to perpetuate the abuse further than men. Like, men that have been beaten as children usually don't do that to their children for the most part.
Yeah, like, I was doing a video responding to the Young Turks because they did the thing about Christy Mack, and her story is horrible. She got absolutely battered, and it's horrible. You look at the pictures, Jesus, right? And it's like, but they quoted these horrible figures. I've not got through the whole video yet, as I'm still responding. That's what I do. I watch the video as I'm responding to it. But so that means the reaction's more natural. But when I was researching, a lot of the time, if you go on the mainstream places, it's like they never mention when it comes to people who are abusing women doing it. It's always men.
Yeah.
And then they'll group when they want to put statistics for men, they just put assault figures, just generic assault figures, like it's 3 million or something guys, but not the actual DV statistics.
Do they even keep statistics for women?
The worst part
Yeah.
of statistics is that it's the amount of reported ones, and men don't report their abuse. And the ones that seek help, like I've talked to a guy that was in a very abusive situation, and I said, okay, did you look for help? And his answer was, yes, I did. I called a hotline. And the woman I was talking to got extremely frustrated over the fact that she couldn't pull up one resource that can actually help me. She finally found something started with men, and it was a helpline for men that abuse women.
Wow. It's so bad.
You can't find those statistics because no one keeps those statistics. Plus, no one counts the times when it's been mutual abuse. The ones you see are the ones where women have called into hotlines, which leads to them going into, help centers, and they have the whole system behind them to help them with that.
Yeah.
So even if you try to find the statistics, the system is set up in such a way that you can't get them because no one tells.
I'm gonna haul myself out real quick, just because
it's all right. Don't worry.
I feel like it's a platform, and I can. So I'm trying within the next 2 years to get the funding together and the people together to, once I go to uni, because I'll be in a city, to start a men's shelter, because I feel like I might have a better chance at it because I'm a woman. And if you, like, I feel like feminists might be a little less, you know, if
Yeah,
there's a
love
woman at the face of a men's shelter.
No. You'll be accused of internalized misogyny.
Definitely
well,
internalized misogyny.
Do it. Do it.
If you hear Erin Pizzi, it's already been tried, and she started getting bomb threats and death threats. It's already been tried 20 years ago, and Erin Pizzi started fearing for her life. We're trying to create a shelter and a system for battered men.
I think you should try it anyway. I think the situation's slowly changing, and I think most normal people will probably look at you in a more more positive light than say if it was a man, which is
You need to shine a light on it, for sure.
Yeah.
So the more that you do for it, the more people are going to pay attention to it.
Which uni are you going to?
I'm not sure yet. That's why I want to like get the like people together and get the you know, have the money there. So when I pick a uni, I can go, right, I'm going to this uni in this city. Look at places to set it up and everything. Because I'm 21, so I have no idea how to go about it. So I'm gonna like reach out to people, but
I'm sure you can ask Men's Rights Edmonton,
yeah,
the badges.
But I mean, feminists don't scare me. I got stabbed by my cousin because I beat him at Skate Electric, so I'm pretty hardcore.
That's an awesome story.
Please tell it.
I want to hear.
It's a pretty simple story. I was like 3, we were playing Skate Electrics. I beat him. He'd like taken a kitchen knife upstairs and hid it under the bed for some reason. He tried to kill me like 6 times when I was a kid because he was like the baby, and then I came along and I was the baby. And like he stabbed me in the back, you know, as families tend to do with each other.
Literally, that's awesome. I mean, not awesome.
Wow.
I mean, I tried to kill my little brother. I sprayed ant killer Raid on jelly beans and fed him to him.
Oh my god.
My sister was pissed. My older sister, she was pissed that she had to help me clean my room. So she pretended to be possessed, like a spirit took her over, and it forced her into my closet, and then she slammed the doors shut. And then she was banging on the doors going, she's like, help me! Oh my god, help me, like panicking. And then all of a sudden it just went silent. And I'm like calling her name out, and then she opens the door, it creaks out like, and then she comes out, and she could do this thing really well where she rolls her eyeballs back into her head and it's all white. And she came out and like pretended that she was freaking the devil, and she did this devil voice, and I was like maybe 7. It traumatized me.
Oh.
She was lovely.
Oh.
Sisterly love.
Oh god. I used to
You know,
fight my sister all the time.
My auntie was so abusive to her husband. She went through 3 husbands, and her 2 sons, they both had stutters. Like she would scream and scream and scream in their face and smack their heads when she was talking to them. Like she was the most abusive woman I'd ever been around. Terrible. And neither of her sons, they're all psychologically damaged. It's ugh.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
See, they always say that, you know, feminists always say, oh, it doesn't affect men, they're alright, you know, they're supposed to be tough and all that, but actually, things like that do affect you, because if it's constant all the time and they're horrible to you, and like your auntie, that's going to damage you.
I've watched it ruin her sons, it's terrible.
Women like that, I just want to crack. I just want to smack them and just be like, fucking stop.
Right?
Stop being a shithead.
Yeah, right.
They're enabled, isn't it? That's the problem. Society enables them to do it. There's nobody's going to stop them. Nobody's going to punish them, so they just do it. They know they're going to get away with it. That's a horrible thing.
Let's tell a joke about chopping penis off, because that's really funny. Yeah, right.
I know.
Physical abuse towards
Darren
men.
showing
Lol,
off.
right?
So funny.
I can't believe that Sharon Osbourne actually said that, and she's got like a son. I know.
I don't know how any woman that has a son could say anything like that or joke about any mutilation of a man's body parts. It's disgusting.
Oh, yes, that's right. I remember this.
She had no excuse for that. I mean,
but it's
you know,
all
we've
the
got
time.
some.
You see it on Twitter all the time. You know, talking about it's funny. Men getting raped is funny. You know, it's not funny when they talk about it with women, but it's a-okay to do with men.
It's not even funny. It's good. Like if he's done something bad, now he's going to jail and he's going to get raped. That's a good
Have
thing.
fun with Bubba.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrible.
Or some people say that, oh no, they can't get raped because you had an erection. You must avoid it. It's like, well, not when you're bloody unconscious.
Well,
Any man can tell you you can be unconscious.
To be fair, recently have started saying, you know, and repeating that point that, oh, well, it doesn't necessarily consent. Even Lacey Green is saying it with her fanboys.
Well, they're paying lip service. They don't actually want to do it, but they have to because we've been, you know, shouting at them for ages now. So they've had to pay lip service. And the thing is,
if they actually thought that male rape was an issue, then the being forced to penetrate would not be sexual assault. It would be rape. Like it baffles me that like in the UK, a boy as soon as he hits 16 is physically unable to be raped by a woman now. Magic. Can't be raped by a woman. Not a thing anymore. You're 16, can't be raped by a woman. No statutory
lose your
rape
virginity.
anymore.
Yeah. Lose your virginity, virgin. You know.
I just think men should stop bitching. Seriously, I mean they just whine all the time about everything.
Oh, women are mean to me sometimes. I don't get to see my kids.
Call the ambulance.
Yeah, really.
Do you remember when I think it was Spino that made a petition to include forced envelopment into British law, and the government said, "Nah, it's not an issue. Not gonna happen."
That's outrageous.
And this is a Tory government that's saying that, and a lot of people would have thought on our side that maybe they would be more inclined to think that, yeah, we should do that. Nope. No way.
Well, they're meant to be all prudish and like any sex besides missionary position in the hopes to, you know, ejaculate and impregnate the woman is rape and bad.
Here's one for you.
Rape,
Here's one. I've got one for you.
On an interesting note, someone posted on their Facebook that they rejected the same thing for non-binary as well or something. They rejected that, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. So they've done it to SJWs too,
the rape of men is a real thing, but people who want to be special snowflakes is not a real thing.
Well, no, they rejected the request to make it some sort of census thing. I don't know.
All right, go tits.
Go on, tits.
Oh, okay, you
Go,
did hear me.
Let's go.
If there's a couple no, they're not even together. They've gotten drunk and they're in the same room and they're all frisky and horny, and then so he says to her, take that dildo and bang yourself with it, okay? And she complies, and then halfway through she feels uncomfortable and she says, no, I'm going to stop, and then she feels like, you know, she's been violated, and can she call rape on that one?
No.
Technically, no. I could imagine that a court...
You don't see any loopholes?
A decent prosecutor could probably argue, like, sexual assault under duress, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But he didn't force her, right? It's not like he took it and shoved it up her. She did.
Yeah, unless he physically had hold of the dildo and fucked her. It's not. It's forced penetration by someone.
This is what I want to know. He didn't get consent to begin with, and they were both drunk.
Why would he be responsible for that? I don't get it.
Because
This
the
is the
mind
kind of
matter.
shit they come up with.
Oh.
Ow!
Sorry. I know it's out there.
I just hate any concept of legislating drunken sex. I hate that aspect of your lives.
Can you imagine if a guy came up to you with a contract before you'd even know?
Oh,
Like,
that'd be so sexy. I love when I'm getting hot and heavy with a man, and they're like, "Please sign here, signature here,
Do you
Yeah.
consent?
initials here,"
yeah,
and I'm
that's
going
right.
to ask you, like, may I unbutton
Yeah.
your shirt?
And I say that
Skin
because
button.
you know you can't get the contract signed before sex if you're both planning on getting smashed, because then the contract would be void. So you need to get her consent when she's of a sound mind under a certain alcohol level. So that's just going to be really fucking awkward.
It
I
worries
could
me
make
that like feminists want sex to be like every like in and out motion. It's like, do you consent? Do you consent? Do you consent? Do you consent? Do you still
They
consent?
literally want.
Is that good?
It's
Is it
so
good? Is it
not
okay? Yes.
She's going to think you're a fucking retard. Like,
I touch your
you know how
breast.
to
Do
have
I have consent?
There was an advert about that, and every time they were like going, "Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. Yes, that's okay. Is that okay? Is that okay?"
Creepy. It was the creepiest thing I've seen.
yeah.
And back when yes means yes was going through, I was commenting under videos covering it, saying there's going to be a generation of people that have no idea what good sex is like. All this has been drilled into their heads, and they don't know how to enjoy a bit of rough sex ever because it's scary to them.
Do you think they're all bad lays?
It could be, yeah. Although
But
you know
Isn't
what's weird?
that fucking terrifying to think of being a young guy who may be a little bit socially awkward, trying to go out into a club and pick up a girl, and then knowing that she could change her mind and just fuck with your whole life.
It's like I've changed my mind sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm not enjoying it, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's rape. I just think, you know what, I'm not enjoying it. I want to end it, so I end it, and then I move on. It's like sometimes that happens.
And then sometimes they say I was so drunk I don't remember.
I know.
It's like, oh, poor baby, you didn't remember. He must have really fucked you up good. Like, you poor victim. But she didn't fucking remember.
I know. It could have been amazing.
It really takes away from the women that actually, do get spiked and raped, and the women that do get drunk and get raped. Like, it really takes away, because everyone's like, oh no, she's just saying that she was drunk and he raped her because she's a slut and she can't keep her legs closed.
Yeah, and I love it when you hear them say that's the patriarchy's fault as well. Discrediting rape victims. That's the patriarchy.
I feel like it's a generation of kids that never got told the story of the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Mattress Girl. You know, that she really annoys me because she's won an award by the National Organisation for Women, the Woman of Courage Award, for doing what? Lying?
You know, you can smother someone with a pillow. Could you smother someone with a mattress?
Oh, it'd be hard, but you could do it.
I'm willing to try.
You could get a very fat person to sit on it while it's on top. And that might
Bearing. We get Bearing to sit on it. Good eye, Mattress Girl.
Good eye. Oh.
So that's all it takes now these days is lying for a good cause? Because I'm totally down for that. I mean, whatever.
I just can't believe she won an award. Well, I can believe she won an award. It's the same organisation that likes Andrea Dworkin, so, you know.
Jesus.
Oh my god, my friends literally just sent me a sexual consent form.
I reckon I could make that sexy. I could do that.
There's no shit. There are people online who sell rape kits. Or consent kits, sorry.
Yeah.
Kits. Consent kits.
What the fuck's a consent kit when it's at home?
You could actually make it sexy. There's a way to do it, but you have to be a bit teasy.
There's no way to do it.
I reckon there
You
is.
have to explain it now.
It wasn't sexy at all.
Yeah. fucking charming. Make this sexy. Go on.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't do it. Well,
Give us your best effort.
Not yet. You've got to sign this form first before you even try.
Wow, I'm so wet right now. Please don't stop.
No, you already will be. But
Oh, BB, do I have to sign on this dotted line to be moist or this one?
Creepy
So
as shit.
sexy. How any woman resists.
guy unbutton these buttons.
It'd be worse to ask for like a picture. We like take a picture.
I guess you're right.
together
Maybe it is
holding the form.
impossible. But I'm sure someone could do. Oh, you're going, Blondie.
Yeah, I'm selling my house, and so some people are coming to look at it at
Yeah.
11:30.
So it's an exciting couple of days for you, isn't it?
I know. I'm like, I quit. I'm selling my house. Screw you all.
Fuck it all. I'm moving.
Making
to the
Seattle great
woods
again.
to live in a cabin.
I know, right? I'm totally doomsday prepping. I've become insane. Just tinfoil hat shit all the way.
Move out into
Anyway, thank
rural
you guys.
Washington.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
It
See
was
ya.
nice to meet you guys that I didn't know before. I'll check out all your channels.
They're all linked
Bye.
down below.
Yeah, and thanks to people in the live chat too. You guys were funny. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, tits.
Oh, then there were what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. So,
Can you count?
yes, I can count.
Apparently not.
You sound worse
I'm
than
sorry,
me.
I'm gonna stop being mean to you because I realise people don't get that that's a UK thing
It's all right. Don't worry about
and
it.
that we're horrible to each other, but it's out of kindness.
That's a
Do people really take that
northern,
seriously?
northern UK thing?
So I want to know, and
No,
I
you
didn't
take
get
the
a
piss.
chance.
It's a friendly thing.
Yeah,
I-
we do that.
Yeah. Aussies are just the scum of the earth that we sent over to prison. No offense, Tit.
Yeah, you send all the hard cunts over to paradise.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't
I
at the
do.
time, was it?
It really does show how
That's
good
just
British
a testament
criminals
to how
are.
fucking hard we are because look.
Yeah,
You know,
all of the
uh,
planet island with like fucking
kill you
all
down
the
here.
animals that want to kill you, plants
Hmm.
that want to kill you, and fucking abos. Like
Fucking-
shit, man.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people would have thought James Cook was like you know like what you expect the colonialists to be, like really horrible and looking down on all the natives, but he didn't actually. He
No,
he,
wasn't.
he,
I
he
don't
knew
think so.
he knew what they were like, but liked it. He was kind of like, yeah, like he recognized that the Maori were very tribalistic, kind of very tough.
Scary.
But they weren't as happy as the Aboriginals, who were just laid back, more relaxed, had a more individualistic society. That's
Yeah,
what he
The
Maori
women
said.
was
fought like
fucking
the women
terrifying.
fought in the wars like
Mm.
just alongside the men. They're fucking terrifying. Moved on, and these Aboriginals are really nice, and they had like hanging out with the koalas, and they got their guns out and said, "Let's go, easy targets." So that's
What?
terrible.
Actually, Cook died trying to stop fighting between his men and Hawaiians, and he got killed
Yeah,
in the crossfire.
Feisty Polynesians.
that's right.
Wait, do Hawaiians
then,
count as Polynesians?
Yeah, Hawaiians are Polynesians. That's like
Oh,
the
they're a little
name
bit
of the-
bit farther away. They're kind of in the middle of America and Pacific, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
is that in Polynesia area? I don't know about
I
that.
guess it is, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the whole like
They had
the
quite a
native
tyrannical queen.
Hawaiians all count as Polynesians. So
They
it's like the
had-
name for the people in the groups of islands.
They used to have a very tyrannical queen, but I forgot. I don't know if it was the last one that they had or it was the one before her. But yeah, she was quite bad. She used to go around conquering people.
You're such a woman hater. God.
I know, it makes me sick.
Yeah,
Just
but you know,
please. You need to get some white knight in you, okay?
I'm
well,
see the white
I'm the Black Knight. I'm sorry, just the way I am.
Note of the Queen. Have you seen that video where the Queen's at like the county, like at a county fair, and a cow comes out, and she gets so fucking excited. The
Dairy
Queen
Queen.
loves cows.
The Queen got excited. She's never excited anymore.
Oh man,
She's
she
just kind
gets
of
she like fucking shook Philip, and she was like, "A cow, Philip, a cow."
Oh yes, it's a cow, yes.
And then he
I
said
love
something
Philip.
about darkies and something quite racist, probably.
Oh, I love Philip. I don't know why. He's
So
so
racist.
cool.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Great.
He genuinely
He's
calls people darkies. It's fucking mwah.
But he
Comedy
doesn't do it
gold.
because he doesn't do it because he hates them. It's just what he grew up being told to say. Like he got in trouble when he went to Hong Kong and said sort of about I've got to be careful. You might do you ever? He said something about their eyes, and it's like a reverse of their joke about people going over here and becoming wide-eyed. Apparently they weren't offended, but we were. I can't remember it now. It was a long time ago, but he got in trouble for that.
It's what us Asians call the whites and wide eyes.
I know, yeah.
That's awesome.
Says
Sounds
me
like a
with like the
vagina.
biggest eyes.
You know what? He's gonna outlive the whole of the UK.
Oh man,
He looks healthier than her. I don't know why.
I'm like, I hope Boris Johnson becomes our prime minister, because
No,
like, can you
dropped out.
imagine Trump and Boris together?
He dropped out. It's not going to be him.
No, Trump and Boris, that fucking hair bears, man.
The more I think about it, the more he's not as bad as the others. Like you got
Oh
Theresa
man,
May.
Boris, how good would that have been? Like Boris and Trump sat together.
Could be huge.
Trump's like, I have golf courses. I have the best golf courses, and Boris is like, I prefer wiffle laugh.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I know we just lost one, but I'm like, my head is about to, slam on the
We're
keyboard.
going to end it soon anyway.
Yeah.
It's be like an hour and a half or something.
So tired.
Aw.
Wow, Sugartits, so selfish of you. How dare you be so
sorry.
selfish?
Typical
But
woman.
it's technically, it's on my birthday over in the UK, so
Happy birthday.
that's alright.
You're like
Not here.
You're like 7 in bare years, right? You're like 7.
Yeah, well, yeah. Is that old? That's probably old for a bear.
Well, they live to about 30.
Don't they?
Do they?
I feel
I'm
like
gonna look.
they're big, so I feel like usually the bigger the animal, the longer they live. Is the
Not necessarily.
Shut up. That's I'm the one studying biology here. The bigger
Well-
it is, the longer it lives.
Well, brown bears live to 20 to 25 years, and
See, there you
Mar-
go. I'm a fucking genius.
the Marsican brown bear lives to about 35. So
I want to know why that rule doesn't apply to dogs, though, because aren't the small ones the ones that can be like 15 to 16, and then
Well,
the bigger ones
it
they tend to
depends.
pass away like 13.
Usually, if they're mutts, they live longer because they've got less health complaints. Because there's less inbreeding.
I'd rather have a mongrel, really, because they're cool.
Well, that's because you're a mutt yourself, so you identify.
Oh, I know. Pot calling the kettle black there, though.
I wonder if you could get a dog and a fox to mate.
Ooh, no,
fox.
not possible. They're not canines.
A dachshund.
Yeah.
A fox is a vulpine, you see, so it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No.
What could you mix?
There's
a
some weird
fox
shit
with?
though, isn't there? Like liger and fucking like that half donkey, half llama thing.
Oh wait,
that doesn't sound right.
they are part of the same family, it seems, but I don't
Are
think
they?
it would work. Apparently, Canidae it's called, but it has raccoons in it as well. So,
Oh my god, could you imagine a raccoon and a fox? That'd be adorable.
oh, is it a raccoon? Is that a raccoon? Yeah, it is a raccoon.
Racox.
Racox.
Raccoon. Just there's some in Germany, you know.
That's mental.
I love
Oh,
how
God.
I'm losing my mind. As you can tell, I'm
making fucking animal hybrids.
Animal hybrids. You can get a dingo and a dog hybrid, I think.
a dingy. Yes,
A
yes, you
dingy.
can. Yeah, they're
That's where
really
you
cute.
just strap life jackets to either side of your dog.
Dr. Random Cam is triggered right now if he ever sees this. The dog would be like, dogs! No!
It's a really bad random account impression.
No, that was Kodja, really.
Really?
That was his. That was
Should
his.
he be able to do his? Come on, you're like English.
You weren't
should be
you
able to
you weren't clearly drunk enough or enraged.
No.
You're way too laid back.
Well, that's him when he's sober. He's pretty laid back to the point where he disappears into the room. Apparently, he's completely different as Mike compared to himself as Dr. Anna McCann. Apparently. What
Okay,
yes,
you
he sounds like Keith Richards sometimes, doesn't he? He just goes
It's a brewing storm.
a storm in a teacup. So you're gonna
His
go then,
puppet.
Tits? You're gonna go?
Oh yes, yeah. I don't know. Are you still going on, or are you wrapping it up?
I think we'll,
'Cause,
I think I'll
yeah,
wrap
we'll
it
head
up.
off.
I think I'll wrap it up here.
Nice.
So everyone, that's been the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I've had.
Nobody
I've enjoyed
argued.
it.
Nobody fought. Like, we all
Nobody
agreed.
fought.
That's not cool, dude. Like,
Well,
I was
you-
waiting for some
Wow,
fisticuffs.
Skepo, you're stepping on my time to talk, bitch. I'm sorry.
I will. I
You
will
can fight.
vacate.
It'll be
I will
beautiful.
vacate.
All right. I'm
Next
kind of
time.
scared of Skepo. I'm not fighting her. I relinquish my dueling rights.
Yeah. Anyway, people, we've had fun. Hope you've had fun. See you later.
Tell us what your
Bye.
favourite animal hybrid is in the
Bye.
comments.